Claire Baker, former Clutterholic and founder of clutterclearing.net, bringing you my weekly vlog about my own clutter clearing journey on which I am losing weight. Weight, of course, being a type of clutter, whereas normally I help people with their physical clutter in their home. I am working on my own physical clutter on my body. So, it's Tuesday, it's weigh-in day for me, and I have lost £2. Yeah, well, 2¼ pounds if we're going to be really pedantic about it. So I'm really pleased. And it's a bit frustrating because here in the UK we use stone, not pounds, and so I'm ½ pound over the current stone level. So it was a bit frustrating. I was just below it. I was ½ pound below the stone level when I weighed myself on Saturday, because I do weigh myself on a Tuesday. That's, if you like, the one that I record. But I do also weigh myself on a Saturday morning just to see how I'm getting on, make sure I'm kind of on track. So it's interesting that over the weekend I kind of put on a pound. Compared to my Saturday weigh-in. As you may know, I'm doing fasting Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday and Sunday are, if you like, normal eating days. So clearly, even though yesterday was a fast day, that didn't offset having gone over my daily allowance on a Saturday and a Sunday. So I need to figure out a way of, if you like, reducing my intake even on a feed day, because the fast days, it's weird. On a fast day I can wake up and it's like, right, fine, no breakfast, no lunch, and just a 3-egg omelette in the evening, and it doesn't bother me. Yet somehow when I wake up and I have breakfast, which is like this morning, 2 eggs, 1 piece of bacon and 1 sausage, it is weird how it almost sets me off more likely to eat during the day and wanting to eat more. Yet on a fast day, not an issue. Again, there's clearly some connection there today. There's clearly some connection there with starting to eat and carrying on eating. Some probably some deep-rooted habits there. I will talk to Marissa, my counsellor, about that today, see if we can understand that. So the 5 success factors that go with clearing your physical clutter in your home, or like me with my weight loss. First one, feedback and learning. Understanding the influence that a lack of emotional intelligence in my upbringing has had on me has been a huge, massively significant learning for me. That happened, I became aware of it 2 weeks ago, and then kind of over that first week, that seed was sown in my head. I did Google exactly what it was, because Marissa, my counsellor, had mentioned it and kind of sowed that seed. And it just explained so much of what has gone on in my life over the years. Understanding that I didn't get unconditional love and support from my parents, I substituted it with food. If you like, I got not emotional intelligence from food, but I created, I imagine, an emotional relationship with food, because I was unable to create an emotional relationship and connection with my parents, purely because they didn't have emotional intelligence, or at least not to the level that I needed it as a child. So again, I'm not having a go at my parents. It is what it is. But being able to know and understand what it is that it is, it's really hard to explain when you just get that light bulb moment and a shift. Yeah, so what I was doing was creating an emotional connection and relationship with food rather than my parents, because I couldn't, because they weren't able to, they weren't capable of doing it. And yet I still tried to establish that unconditional loving relationship and connection with my parents by being a good girl. I suffered from good girl syndrome, whatever you want to call it. I thought that if I was good enough and obedient enough and did what they wanted me to do, that would connect me at an emotional level. But like I say, 2 weeks ago, I learnt, understood, realised that because there isn't the emotional intelligence there, that was never going to happen. And it is never going to happen. And that makes it okay. The anger has gone. It's amazing. Yeah, so now I've given up hoping that it will miraculously happen. And it feels like I've got a sense of freedom in my life. Being the good girl never did work, but that doesn't mean, even at the age of 40 odd, that you don't still try again. Being a good girl is a habit that you learn, isn't it? So you don't suddenly undo 40 years of habit in a matter of a couple of weeks. I'm aware that it is still there. But suddenly I realise it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, and now I can concentrate on getting that emotional intelligence from if you like, the good places. And at the moment, the only one I can think of is my husband. But isn't it interesting that in my husband, I do get something that I never got with my parents, and in a way, that might explain why, if you like, meeting a life partner, you know, was almost unsettling for my parents, I think. I fully appreciate that your children meet partners and start making a life together that doesn't involve the parents at the same level as they used to, you know, can be really unsettling. And me as a good girl involved my parents massively in my life up until the age of 28. So again, so many shifts, but like I say, this seed of understanding that the emotional intelligence wasn't there, and that it couldn't be there, and it will never be there, and that's okay, has massively shifted things. Realising, I think this week, I'll find out with Marissa when I see her later, that actually it may be that I established that emotional, unconditional relationship with food because I couldn't get it from my parents. Makes so much sense. And it also explains to me why I had unhealthy relationships with men, because I think I picked men that were similar to my father. That's perfectly normal. But of course I was picking men that were emotionally unable to, didn't have the emotional intelligence either. And therefore, I think that's why, looking back, I was extremely emotionally needy in my relationships, always looking for some sign that they cared, some sign that they would put me first, some sign that I was worth the effort. So again, it explains so much. I apologise to previous partners that I was so needy. But yeah, it does. It suddenly makes things really click into place. And of course, as we know, food, our relationship with food, our weight is connected to so many other things in our lives. And I do think that this emotional intelligence thing is kind of at the core of my weight issue. Because like I say, and I keep saying it, but essentially I believe that because I didn't get the emotional intelligence, the emotional unconditional love and support relationship with my parents, I found it or created it with food. Strong bond, that. Strong bond. Second success factor, method. I think I'm going to have to cut out my pork cocktail sausages, which are my snack, or have been my snack. I don't know why, but I think that because, relatively speaking, they're high in carbs compared to everything else that I eat. And whereas I might buy a packet of 20 pork cocktail sausages and say to myself, I'm only going to eat 10, I am currently unable to stop, and I will eat the whole packet. I think I said last week, my husband went shopping, got a few bits, and he got packs of pork cocktail sausages, 2 packs of 40 cocktail sausages. Ate them in 2 days. 80 pork cocktail sausages. And only burnt 4 of them off at the gym. And again, I think that is linked to the habit that I have of, if it's there, you've got to eat it all, because I was a good girl, ate everything on my plate. So I'm going to cut out the pork cocktail sausages as snacks for the foreseeable future. I will still snack on cheese, because that's low in carbs, low in sugar, high in fat, but it's animal fat. That's okay. So it's not bad for my cholesterol. So yeah, I just can't say no to a pork cocktail sausage. Who knew? Third success factor, doing the doing. I haven't been swimming over the last week. I was particularly tired last Wednesday. Friday, I sliced off the top of my finger and it wouldn't stop bleeding. That was at the gym, actually. I put my hand in my gym bag, and unbeknownst to me, I had a razor in there that didn't have a lid on it. Ooh, that hurt. That kept bleeding. Getting changed when you've got a finger that won't stop bleeding is quite interesting. God only knows what the other people in the changing room thought. And then yesterday, my husband and I had a deadline of something that we had to do by the end of the day. So we went to the gym. We just went in the gym, did our workouts, and then came home. But again, huge shift. We both wanted to go to the gym. We didn't want to not go to the gym because of the deadline. So that was really good. Friday was a really good day as well, in terms of doing the doing and doing the exercise, going to the gym, because it was a really miserable day. It was raining a bit like today. It was obviously dark in the evening, and my husband was out working and he wasn't back, so he wasn't going to be coming to the gym. And I could have so easily said, you know what, it's a miserable day. It's Friday, it's the end of the week. I'll take a day off. But actually, I wanted to go to the gym. I knew that I was going to feel better by going to the gym. And sure enough, I did. So I went on my own. I enjoyed my workout. And what was even more interesting was I came home over the weekend. My husband said, I really missed going to the gym on Friday. I can feel the difference. I can feel more sluggish. So he really enjoyed yesterday's gym session. So again, that shift in terms of just, this is what I do and I know I'm going to feel better, is there. That seed is not just sown, it is grown, and it is becoming quite a strong seed. So that was really good. And also with doing the doing, I may have mentioned this before, I do something called TRE. This stands for Total Release Experience. And what this is, it's described as a natural release from stress, anxiety and PTSD for a more healthy, balanced life. So I do the TRE as a stress release, but I am sure that it has actually helped me subconsciously deal with some of the issues from my past, my life, that have contributed to the weight loss, the weight issue, and other stressful experiences in my life. I do it once a week, and essentially, the best way to describe it, Marissa described it this way as well. You do some stretches, you lie on your back, you open your legs into the position as if you're having a cervical smear. Sorry if any men are watching this. And essentially a natural shaking starts with your legs. And that is stress and energy being released. Now, this may sound all very new age, but it's not, because actually it's something that naturally happens with animals. Animals will naturally shake to release energy and stress. But we humans have kind of beaten it out of ourselves over the course of evolution. And I wasn't cynical when I started it. I trust Marissa. She said that she thought it would help because of the deep-rooted issues. And I didn't actually really know what to expect. I hadn't read the information. I just turned up, did it. And again, it just naturally started doing it. And in a way, because I didn't know what to expect, I didn't realise that this was about a shaking, getting your legs to shake and release the energy. In a way, that probably helped with me relaxing and just doing it because I didn't know what to expect. And I've done that now for a year. And I do believe that it has really, really helped. And so I would recommend it. I'm not into yoga. I did try yoga a few times, but it just didn't feel right for me. And TRE isn't a replacement for yoga because it's stretches to begin with, just so that you stretch the muscles that are then going to release the energy. But it might be worth looking into if you're looking for a natural way to deal with stress, anxiety, or indeed PTSD at the extreme end of the scale. Fourth success factor quickly, time. Next week will be the 1 year anniversary of me actually recording my weekly weight loss on a spreadsheet. And I'd really like to lose 2 pounds this week so that I can reach the 5 stone or 70 pound weight loss mark in a year, in a calendar year. That would be great to get to 70 pounds in 1 calendar year. It's more than that because I had lost some weight between November and February last year, but if you like, since I've been recording it would be nice to get to that point. And then finally, support. The fifth success factor, support. My weekly counselling is invaluable. Even when I don't think I've got anything much to talk about or discuss, I discover I do. So it's a really valuable thing. And it's interesting, the parallels, because a lot of my private clients will say that they think, oh, I'll be all right. I can do my clutter clearing sessions this week. I don't need accountability to Claire. And then we speak the following week, and guess what? Life has got in the way. They haven't made the time, but because they've made the time to speak to me every week, either side of a clutter clearing session, they then do it. So again, just proves, I think, that you may be thinking 10 steps ahead and you may think, oh, well, I'll be all right then. I can do it on my own. That actually it's better to have the support in place, to be in that routine, to have that habit of this is just what I do every week. I go to my counsellor, I talk about stuff that comes up, and like with my clients, every week I talk to Claire and I do a clutter clearing session. And if they do an extra one on their own in between, bonus, but at least we know they're doing at least one, which is what they need to do. Oh, and then finally with support. My husband, very supportive, he's great, but I did have to laugh this morning because he weighed himself. And having been very smug that he was down to the weight that he wanted to be, and that he had lost weight over Christmas, this week he's put on 7 pounds, half a stone. And I know I should be supportive and say, oh, that's terrible. But I know why. He started building in the carbs and the sugar again. So he will have porridge for breakfast with sugar sprinkled on the top. And sausage rolls are his favourite snack item. A packet of 6 sausage rolls, 6 large sausage rolls, will be eaten in a matter of a couple of days. He's not doing the fast days. So on a fast day, he will have porridge for breakfast with sugar on the top. Then he will have sausage rolls as a snack for lunch. And then he will have an omelette in the evening. So again, he's on his journey. If he decides that he wants to come back down again on his weight, he knows exactly what to do. But I just think it's really, really interesting because I don't think he's as sensitive to the carbs and the sugar as I am. I put 9 pounds on over Christmas by eating carbs and sugar. But he's put on 7 pounds. 7 pounds that's probably in about 10 days, 2 weeks. So doesn't that just prove, does to me anyway, how significant carbs and sugar are in terms of weight loss and weight gain? But I will support him, and he obviously continues to support me. Funnily enough, he bought as a snack the other day a packet of 4 scones, and I was surprised he didn't eat the whole packet in one sitting. He ate 2 of them on what day? He ate 2 of them on Sunday, and he ate 2 of them yesterday on Monday. When we got back from the gym, and I looked at the scones and I thought, I quite fancy a scone, but I will only eat scones when I am in Cornwall, which is the home of cream teas here in the UK with cream on top. I said, I could really fancy one of them. And he went, no, I am not letting you have one of these because they're mine. And it was good because, again, that's a shift for him in the support, because I did tell him nicely that he was actually sabotaging me when he offered me food, and I don't yet have or I didn't, or maybe I do now, I didn't have the self-confidence to say no. So in the past, 6 months ago, if I'd said, oh, could you really eat one of them? He'd have said, do you want one? And I would have said yes. Now, so last night he said, you're not having one of these because otherwise I'm sabotaging you and because I want to eat them all. And I was like, that's fine. Thank you. And then he weighed himself this morning and had put on 7 pounds. So yes, again, useful feedback, but appropriate support, which is good. Let me know how you've got on with your week. As always, I do love to know. And I will see you next week, and hopefully I'll reach my £70 loss in a calendar year goal by next week. All right. I love you and leave you. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.